Whore, harlot, lady of the night, sex worker, prostitute. Any one of these words is enough to invoke a strong emotional response. However, for the next few minutes, I ask you to put aside your emotions and moral objections, because in this speech, we will not be focusing on prostitution as a moral or a social issue, but as a purely commercial issue. For prostitution is, at its core, an industry just like any other. As college students, we expect to have successful careers and bright academic futures ahead of us, but not everyone goes to college. Some people directly enter the workforce, where in the case of prostitution, they are confronted with unnecessarily dangerous work conditions. Prostitution is an issue that I have been passionate about for several years now and have thoroughly researched for papers and discussions. That research has taught me the importance of considering all aspects of prostitution. The United States government should legalize and then strictly regulate prostitution for informed, consenting adults over the age of 18 in all 50 states. To prove to you why the government should do this, I will explain to you two of the major problems of prostitution: violence and sexually transmitted diseases, and the ways in which legalization with regulation can help solve those problems. But first, prostitution is a widespread and permanent industry that has existed in almost every civilization the world has seen, including the United States. I mean, it's called the world's oldest profession for a reason, right? In fact, this year, in 2013, the National Task Force on Prostitution reported that over 1 million American women alive today have participated in prostitution at some point of their lives. The fact that there are that many women working in the industry, despite the fact that it's currently illegal in almost every area of the country, shows the true power of prostitution. The industry can almost be considered inevitable, whether you want to think about it or not. And because current efforts to criminalize the industry have failed, the only logical way to minimize its effects is to regulate it. Therefore, this legalization with regulation will help solve two major problems of prostitution: violence and sexually transmitted diseases. First, I will focus on violence, specifically violence between prostitutes and their customers. For many prostitutes, violence is an occupational hazard. According to a 2013 journal article by Drs. Cunningham and Shaw from Baylor University and UCLA, 68% of street prostitutes have been raped by clients, and over 1/3 of serial killer victims are prostitutes. These numbers demonstrate that the vast majority of prostitutes will experience violence at some point of their lives. However, legalization with regulation can help change those numbers. In that same article, Cunningham and Shaw explore the potential benefits of legalization. From 2003 to 2009, indoor prostitution, which is prostitution that occurs in a brothel, was legal in the state of Rhode Island, and during that time, the rate of prostitution-related violence decreased significantly. For example, from 2004 to 2009, there were 824 fewer reported cases of prostitution-related rape. This is because brothel owners were required to strictly monitor and protect their workers' transactions, providing security measures such as emergency call buttons or a screening process for potentially dangerous customers. In addition, because the industry was legal at that point in time, both the brothel owners and the prostitutes were able to rely on the police for assistance in monitoring and removing violent customers from the brothel premises. All these additional layers of safety and protection led to fewer opportunities for violence, thus demonstrating that legalization and regulation can make the industry of prostitution safer because of the reduction in violence. However, in addition to reducing violence, this legalization and regulation can also help protect both sex workers and their customers from sexually transmitted diseases. The incidence of STDs in the prostitution industry has reached almost epidemic proportions. As Stefan, Bernice, and Banyos reported in a 2003 article for the International Journal of Antimicrobial Agents, up to 50% of prostitutes may suffer from STDs, including HIV, syphilis, gonorrhea, and chlamydia. These diseases are painful, easily transmissible, and potentially deadly, making them a severe health risk not only for prostitutes, but for their customers and the other people that those customers will go on to have sex with, making it not only a risk for prostitutes and their customers, but a community risk. However, legalization with regulation can help reduce this risk. Heinemann, McFarland, and Brent's report in a 2013 article that there are 10 counties in Nevada where indoor prostitution is currently legal. That means that the brothels located in those counties are the only place where indoor prostitution is currently legal in our country today. To even begin working in one of these brothels, a prostitute must comply with stringent health standards. These standards are described in a 2005 article by Drs. Brent and Hausbeck for the Journal of Interpersonal Violence. First, a prostitute must undergo strict STD testing both before and during employment, and if they ever test positive for an STD, they are required to be treated, cured, and cleared by a physician before being allowed to return to work. In addition, brothel owners require all customers to use condoms. These health safety measures have led to a drastic reduction in the rate of STDs among prostitutes. In fact, Marianne Seals reports in a 2013 article that no Nevada prostitute working in one of these legal brothels has tested positive for HIV since 1985, a statistic demonstrating the true effectiveness of legalization with regulation. Therefore, the United States government should legalize prostitution so to be able to regulate the industry with strict health standards that would reduce the rate of STDs, thus protecting prostitutes, their customers, and the greater community. To conclude, I'll return to those 1 million American prostitutes mentioned by the National Task Force of Prostitution in 2013. That number means that there are 1 million American prostitutes who are at severe risk for violent STDs. But it's not just them at risk. It is the millions of customers who may be dads or people that you work with who visit these prostitutes every day. Thus, that's a community risk. Therefore, the United States government should legalize and then strictly regulate prostitution, establishing stringent health and safety standards that reduce the rate of STDs and violence, thus protecting sex workers, their clients, and the greater community. Why is this important to us? Because as college students, we must understand that some people's chosen careers revolve around the bedroom instead of the office or laboratory. Because despite any moral or religious objections you may have to prostitution, prostitutes are living, breathing human beings. Because we do not have the rights to compromise the health and safety of any of our fellow Americans. And because prostitutes have the right to have their chosen industry safely regulated, just like any other industry, including the food, transportation, and healthcare industries. Therefore, I encourage you to do something, to get politically involved, to do some research, maybe even to just stop and think about how the legalization and regulation of prostitution could change the entire industry, making it safer, healthier for everyone involved. Because it is our responsibility as students, not just of Clemson University, but of the world, to objectively consider the most effective way to make the industry of prostitution safer and healthier for the prostitutes, their clients, and the greater community. Thank you.